Hey tubers, long time no see, especially on this type of subject. Got a small engine today. A lot of you guys are probably saying, finally. It's a Craftsman with the Incredible. It's the one with the spring, which I kind of like. The 4-stroke 26cc mini tiller. So we got it in today. You prime it up, it says 10 times, so it's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now, why does it say 10? I don't know. It's pretty excessive to me, but I'm just going to do it by the book and show you guys what's going on with this thing. So we want to make sure your throttle is free. Want to make sure the on switch is on. Nothing. Now, earlier it fired, ran really smooth for about 5 seconds, sputtered and shut off, and then it won't start now. So we got to figure out what's going on here. First thing I'm going to do, I'm going to pull off this air cleaner. I'm going to test if it's a carburetor issue or if it's an ignition issue. That's pretty soaked. It's got a lot of oil in it, which is good. You want to see oil in the foam type air filters. I mean, it's catching. It'll allow it to catch stuff. Gonna spray, sorry. I haven't held the camera in a while. Spray that directly into the intake. This does not use 2-stroke fuel. It's a 4-stroke, so it's straight gas and oil. 4-stroke oil goes in there. So we're gonna pull it over. So, as you can see, it starts right up and shuts off again. So that tells me that it is a carburetor issue. Now, if it was an ignition issue, what would happen is if I sprayed carburetor cleaner or starting fluid. I like carburetor cleaner. It's a lot less aggressive. But if I sprayed carb cleaner into the intake, didn't fire, didn't do anything, it'd be an ignition problem. Whether it's a coil, spark plug, grounding issue with the coil, or the kill wire somewhere is grounding itself. But since it does fire up on carb cleaner, that means it's definitely the carburetor. Something's going on there. So we're going to go ahead and pull this guy off, and then we're going to get into the carburetor. On these carburetors, there's a metering diaphragm. I'll show you that here in a second. But a lot of times those metering diaphragms go out. So my battery's about to die on this camera. Giddy. But we're going to get into this carburetor now, and I'll show you how to get to what you need to get to and see if the diaphragm's crispy or not. See you in a second, tubers. Alrighty, tubers. So we've got the carburetor hanging out here. One thing you want to make sure you do, you want to make sure you mark where these guys go. I'm just going to remember. So you can even make up a weird, strange little, I don't know, story, I guess you could call it. Green is grass, brown is dirt. It's upside down. It's an upside down world. So grass is on the bottom and dirt's on the top. I mean, it's simple as that. Or if you can't remember something like that, then. But what I do when I can't remember it is I'll make notches. I'll take a marker and make 1, 2, and then I'll go up the line 1, 2, and 1, 2, and then mark 2 notches next to it, and then this one I'll just make 1 notch here and there. So that's 1 and 2 instead of writing a number, because numbers don't seem to last or make too much sense, or I don't know. I've always had better luck with notches staying. So that throttle just came off. I'm going to take this guy off now. And then we're going to open this up and see what the diaphragm's like inside. Cool. Alrighty, tubers. So this carburetor sits in this configuration. That there, and then at the bottom. This is a diaphragm as well, which this one is pretty good. There's a spring underneath that part, which it needs to stay pretty soft, but it's alright. I might have an extra one laying around I could throw in there. As for the metering diaphragm, it's actually pretty soft, which kind of surprises me. If you push it down, as you can see, feels coming out, which is a good thing. It's not plugged up, so I'm going to go ahead and go through this carburetor. I'm going to pull this guy off, spray it all out, clean it up, and see where I can get with this. It's really not that bad, which is surprising. I'm going to go see if I can find my kits wherever they are and see if I can replace just this one right here. I'll go look for those now. Cool. Well, as you can see, it's running really good now. Yeah, it's a little dark out now. Hello, Sir Ammon. It's running good. All I did is pull the carburetor apart, cleaned it out. Then actually filled it with 100% seafoam, let it sit for half an hour. Started it, did the same, start up, shut off, did it 2 or 3 times, and then it started and ran great. Let it sit overnight and try it again in the morning. Make sure the repair sticks. See you later, tubers. Bye. I remember to make the finish up video this time. Okay, there's the switch on. Throttle's nice and clear. Gonna prime this up with my nasty hands. Working on that generator right now. Prime this guy up until I start seeing fuel come through. There we go. Gonna choke it. It's been sitting probably about a day and a half. No choke at all. These 4 strokes, you definitely want to let them warm up for a minute. The exhaust is already getting warm. It's good. Notice this one smokes a little bit. I'm going to do an oil change on it before I send it out. Cool, tubers. Next thing I'll do is an oil change. I'll show you guys how to do that on these little engines. They are super simple. You just have to measure it out and make sure it's correct. This guy actually has it 3.04 ounces max on the oil. So I'm gonna go get my measuring glass. I believe it's in my pickup truck. I'm gonna go measure out some oil and get the oil changed on it. See you in a bit, tubers. Alrighty, tubers. So I'm just using an Anchor measuring cup. There's 3 ounces there, 3.5 there. I'm gonna go somewhere in between. I got a little funnel here to go right there to help me out. I gotta hurry because the customer should be here like right now. So I'm gonna go ahead and pour this guy in. There's 3, right below 3.5. Should work fine. It's a nice clear oil. It's a 10W40 motorcycle oil. The reason why I'm using motorcycle oil, it holds up to the heat a lot better. You're supposed to use a multi-grade in these anyways. So I usually use a 10W40 motorcycle oil. I've used it in all of my 4-stroke stuff. I have weed eaters that I've had for years. And I've put countless amount of hours on them. Never had any issues. oil that came out of this was pretty dark and actually kind of shiny metallic, so it's had a little damage done to it. Hopefully not too much, but it's as much oil as it takes. It's about how much came out of it. I put a little Marvel in right before I changed the oil too, just to help flush out the old oil. Gonna plug that guy up, start her up, let her run, and then I'll be taking this out front. And actually, now that I've had it idling, you know, I started up there for a second, this new oil, it actually doesn't even smoke at all. Which I've also noticed with Marvel, or not Marvel, but motorcycle oil. And I do believe he's calling me right now. I'm getting a phone call, so have a good one, tubers. Hope I see you. Bye.